And then we just came into our room.
In January, John McTavish's husband Rob chose a medically assisted death.
Rob got into bed. That's the quilt that I covered him up with. And then the doctors came in, and 5 minutes it was over.
Rob Rowlands learned 2 years ago he had cancer.
He had no strength left. He would go to the floor, all kinds of just horrendous things.
Months of radiation, chemo, and surgeries left him unable to even eat.
There was really no quality of life. And on January 3rd of this year, he made the decision that he was done. So we contacted the doctor and set everything in motion that on the 6th of January, he would be able to end his life.
The end came with an IV and drugs prescribed by a doctor that flowed into his body. The physician also vouched that Rowland's death was reasonably foreseeable, as Canada's law requires. Since last June, at least 1,300 Canadians have chosen a medically assisted death. Vancouver Island has among the highest assisted death rates in Canada, with 100 deaths through the end of February, or roughly 2% of all the deaths on the island, suggesting a fairly rapid adoption rate, says Dr. Jonathan Regler.
I would say the law is working reasonably well.
Regler practices in Courtenay and has been personally involved in 10 such deaths. He believes even more people would opt for it if they weren't required by law to be aware and coherent at the time of their death.
I think that we should not insist that people have capacity right up until the very end. Apart from anything else, it's leading to patients having to forego painkillers whilst waiting for a medically assisted death, and that's wrong.
He typed this up on Thursday night.
McTavish says his husband wrote a letter just hours before he died.
And I could have never loved another as much as I have loved you.
It's a goodbye that increasingly many Canadians are choosing. Chris Brown, CBC News in Courtenay, BC.